Yo, what up, y'all? This is your boy Kinckle from the Kinckle podcast. We are approaching week 16 in the NFL, and I come here to give you my week 16 predictions. It's going down. There's not a lot of season left. We're separating the men from the boys, and we're getting started with the game that's going on Thursday night. My pop's beating me 103-100. I gotta make some moves this week to get back in the game. It's only 2-3 weeks left. So we get started off. The 7-7 New York Jets versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 6-8. The Jets are getting mopped. They haven't been able to do anything on offense all day. It's 16-3. Me and my pop both picked the Jets. Hopefully something changes and they're able to do something, at least make it a game, because this thing was horrible right now. Next on the slate is 11-3 Buffalo Bills, who are standing strong in their third spot in the power rankings. Some would arguably have them at second. I have them at the third because I believe Kansas City's better than them, even though they beat Kansas City in the beginning of the year. But we have the 11-3 Buffalo Bills versus the 3-11 Chicago Bears. I don't expect this to be a contest, but stranger things have been happening lately. We both picked Buffalo. Buffalo's a favor, but you never know. Next on the slate, we got a good game. Minnesota versus the Giants. This is the first split between me and my father. I'm going with the 11-3 Minnesota Vikings, who got trashed by the Dallas Cowboys, who's playing the Giants, who's 8-5-1. I got Minnesota. My dad got the Giants. That's probably going to be the game of the week. It's probably going to be the game of the week right there. But yeah, Minnesota versus the Giants. We're going to have an action-packed football Sunday and Saturday. The weekend's going to be crazy with the NBA games and the NFL games. I have the Jets game on in the back. It looks like they switched quarterbacks, and the Jets offense is on the move. So that's a good thing. Hopefully they could get back in the game and score and maybe win. But back to the picks, y'all. Next, we got Baltimore, who is not going to be with Lamar Jackson. This is his third or fourth game out. He's still hurt. Like I said before in the beginning of the year, he should have signed that contract. It's a risk because he might get hurt. And that's what happened. So he's hurt. Baltimore's still in the playoff contention, though. They're 9-5. They're playing Atlanta, who's 5-9, who's out of playoff contention. They should get the win. Now, backup quarterback is decent. He looks like a poor man's Lamar Jackson. He's able to run the ball. He knows how to run the read option. He can throw it and get it to the receiver. So they should be able to escape versus Atlanta. So it might be smart to keep him on the bench to give him a little break. He might need it. So hopefully they get the win. He can get some leverage on chilling out and having a break. And the Jets just made like a 30-yard reception, the biggest play on the night. They got in their guy, Chris Streveler, who was doing his thing in preseason. I think they let him go, and then they brought him back. He's out here balling. It looks like the Jets got life, and let's go Jets. Back to the picks we go. Next up is Cleveland versus New Orleans. Cleveland's 6-8. New Orleans is 5-9. They're both out of playoff contention. I'm giving that to Cleveland. They got Deshaun Watson. They've been looking pretty good. They've been scoring. They've been getting some wins lately. So I'm with Cleveland on that game. Next, we got 11-3 Kansas City versus 7-7 Seattle. I believe Kansas City is going to win. Me and my father. Seattle have my man Geno Smith. I don't know if he's going to get the Comeback Player of the Year award anymore. He's slipping, he's falling, and he can't get up. Big shout out to DMX. Next game on the slate, Tennessee versus Houston. Tennessee is 7-7. For some reason, they've been on some type of losing skid. I don't get it. Well, their quarterback is out for the season. Ryan Tannehill is out for the season. I remember seeing that earlier. Derrick Henry, you got to step it up. Everybody knows you're going to get the ball. You got to step it up, man. It's rider time. It's time to show your worth. Get them to the playoffs at least. You know what I mean? You like one of the best running backs in the league, top 5 running back. Do your thing. Y'all are playing 1-12-1 Houston, who's played their last 2 opponents pretty good. Watch out now. I don't think it's an upset alert, though. Tennessee gets the victory. Me and my father picked them. Detroit versus Carolina. Every week I tell you guys about Detroit. They're on the come up. They finally got a 500 record. The record is starting to match how good they really are. We both picked Detroit over Carolina. Next, we got Cincy versus New England, who's Cincy's been coming up in the power rankings. Joe Burrow is the truth. The receivers are the truth. They got a good running back core. Their defense is good. Watch out for Cincy on the come up. They're a notch underneath New England. They're a notch underneath Kansas City, and they're a notch underneath Buffalo, but they right there. They on the come up. They heating up at the right time. Joe Burrow was in the Super Bowl last year, so let's not sleep. Let's not sleep. They gonna beat New England. Next we got San Fran versus Washington, another team that's on the up, who's starting to get hot. Washington is trying to make it to the playoffs too, so that's gonna be a tough game. San Fran's 10-4, Washington's 7-6-1. So San Fran's heating up. San Fran got a good quarterback, they got a good running back, they got a good receiver, they got a good tight end. Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, Purdy at the quarterback, got a good running back, they got a good offensive core. I say San Fran over Washington. That's going to be a good game. This would have been the best game of the week. Dallas 10-4 versus Philly 13-1. But Philly, Jalen Hurts is sitting out. He got hurt last game. There's no reason for them to press the issue. They're 13-1. If they beat Dallas, they won the division. Dallas is 10-4. I believe they could win without Jalen Hurts. We're going to have our backup in. I think we're still going to do the thing. I picked Philly. My dad picked Dallas. Another one that we're different on. And that's going to help me get back in the game. The Minnesota game, I picked Minnesota over New York. That's going to help me get back in the game. And is the next game, Pittsburgh versus Las Vegas. I picked Las Vegas. My dad picked Pittsburgh. Hopefully those three can get me back in the game to tie him up. Miami versus Green Bay. Miami's 8-6. It depends on what kind of game Tua is going to have. They played Buffalo pretty good last week in the bad weather, which means that in the playoffs, they could be scary because they know how to play in that bad weather, and they gave Buffalo some competition. So I know there's no moral victories in the NFL, but that was good for them. Now they're playing Green Bay. A veteran, Aaron Rodgers, who's trying to make it into the playoffs. He knows what it's like to play at this time of the year. They're at Green Bay, I believe. It's going to be cold out. Let's see what Miami does. Miami's trying to get in the playoffs. Green Bay's trying to get in the playoffs. That game may low-key be pretty good, too. I don't see Aaron Rodgers with any weapons, though. They got one good rookie receiver, and that's about it. Their running core is okay, but there's no match for Miami's high-powered offense. You got Tyreek Hill, you got John Waddle, you got Raheem Morset. I see Miami running away from that one, and I'm hurting Green Bay's playoff chances. Next, we have Denver versus the Rams. Both teams aren't making the playoffs. It looks like a Baker Mayfield versus Russell Wilson. We both went with Russell Wilson in Denver, 4-10. Not much to say or even hear here. Both teams are in the floor mat of the league. No playoff implications. They're just playing to finish out the career with some pride and dignity. Tampa Bay versus Arizona. Tampa Bay has the best record in their division. If they win, they'll be one step closer to making the playoffs. Arizona's 4-10. They have no playoff implications at all, so they're out of it. I believe Tom Brady's going to do what he has to do to make it to the playoffs, so this season for him won't be a complete failure, but he has definitely fell off a couple of steps. 45 years old. He needs to retire. Have fun with your kids. You had a wonderful career. Don't make yourself look bad. Last but not least, we have the Chargers versus the Colts. The Chargers are 8-6. They're looking like they're going to make it to the playoffs. Their quarterback is decent. The Colts are 4-9-1. I believe Matt Ryan is getting benched again. So Chargers win that. That closes out the week. That's week 16 of the NFL wrap-up. Y'all stay with us. Play close attention. This is a Kevin Kinckle podcast. Me and my pops picks. We love doing this. We love y'all, man. This Jets game is getting good. They finally put the guy in that was balling up all preseason, and now he's putting that work in. So that might have been the change they needed, and we're still confident that the Jets are going to win. This is a Kevin Kinckle podcast, week 16 predictions for NFL. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.